Um, Hello, my name is Upasana, and today I'm going to share my final project with you. I will share my screen. For my final project, I made a GUI, Tinkerter, and PL image, PIL, to create an image processor that takes an image and modifies the image to make it, and you can choose either low resolution or high resolution black and white or grayscale. I will run the program right now to show you. So I run the program and here pops and our GUI pops up. So you can see we have a label here inviting us in to the image processor, and the button that says choose image, another button that says modify file low resolution and modify file high resolution. We will click on the buttons that says modify file, choose image, just choose image. And when you click on the choose image button, it directs us to our laptop Finder. If it's Finder if you use a Mac, and I'm using a Mac currently, so I'll refer to it as that. Here you can toggle through your recent applications, desktop, documents, and downloads. I'll be choosing the image from my desktop. I'll click on this image with two birds. Click open. When I click open, I'll be brought to, the image will be brought up. And now I'll go back to my GUI and click modify low resolution. So you can see this image is really pretty grainy with an extremely pixelated, grainy, not a clear image. So it says low resolution. Now I'm going to click modify high resolution. Now we have the exact same image from the original, but converted to grayscale. If you put the images side by side together, you can see the grayscale one, the original one, and the grainy one. So you can see they're all different versions, converted and processed. The original, high resolution, low resolution. So you can see the difference between all three of them. Okay, now we've seen that, I will delete these images. And I'll create this to stop my program, and you can see it stopped. The run has stopped. Once I delete the GUI window, and I'll explain my code now. This part here is my as the imported libraries I needed. First of all, it's a Tinkerton library, star base, and what I imported. Now I have a second Tinkerton imported, but as FD, this library is needed to help me access, or the user access, the Finder from our first button that says choose image. Next, we have the PIL library imported to help us process the image and show the image. Now let's go into our code. Here is my first class, which is open image class, and then our methods here, which are the def methods. And I have the first initialize method, auto constructor, which initializes everything and its function. And first of all, in the init method, I have, or the constructor, I have created the window, and the window is named image processor. If I run it, you can see the image processor name right here. Then we have our first label, which is welcome to image processor, and the text here. It's right here in the middle, and I use justify to put it in the center, justify the center, and then row one, column 2 to put its exact position. If you make an imaginary grid like this, oh no, what happened? I will draw the imaginary grid. Okay. Oops. So you can see this is in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, row 1, and column 2. And we go back to here. We can see we can go to our next button or get image, and it's our choose image button with the get image command. It is in row 2, column 2. I will go over this. I'll explain this part after I go all the buttons. Next, we have a modify button, which is, and its text displays as modify file low resolution. Exactly, it's this button. The previous button was a choose image button at the top right here. Next, we have the modify to button, which is a high resolution button right here. And this has a clear black and white method, or BW, stands for black and white. Here are the functions. And then you have the window main loop, which basically loops the commands. We have the get image function, or method, which first of all uses this command or piece of code on line 36 to directly, if I choose image, which also directs us to our finder. And then we have our next one, which is self, which opens the file and scans it and find our image show. So if you run a program, here, you can choose, this is an image pick, and this is open. And the open one is when the image pops up. Next, we have the grainy one, and it basically converts it to 1, or the grainy, our low resolution one, and it's just 1 top on mode. And the convert function is a PL library, which helps it convert it. And TM is a variable, so image, it uses this self image, which is saved and read already from this command. That's why, and then it saves the variable TM, and TM is shown up. Clear BW basically does the exact same thing when pressed, and it converts the image to L, which helps it gives higher resolution in the PL from the PIL library. And it does IM show and saving the IM variable in the IM shows. Now let's talk about the spacing and spacing of the thing. As you can see, as I talked before, this part, the label is in row 1 and column 1. Row 1 and column 2. Sorry about that. Our next label is choose image, modify, and modify file high resolution, low resolution. And these two are in are not exactly in the rows. That's because of the pad X and pad Y command. And these ones basically the spacing in the x-axis and y-axis. So it's a bigger gap in these two, since 20 is large number 10, small gap is 10 pixel. If I draw the grid again, can I draw lines? Okay, that's better. Here is our grid. It's not actually exact because there's space, but we can see this is in row 3, column 3, row 2, column 2, row 2, column 2, row 3, column 1, and row 2, column 2, and row 1, column 2. Thank you for listening to my presentation. That is the end of my final project and its functions.